You vote Reanimator. I don't know about Hyrule. It's a very consistent deck, honestly. I mean, it's a filthy, disgusting deck when it does Hyrule. Don't get me wrong. When you do get the Hyrule moments, it really is fucking filthy. But it's just like normal. Just dirtle around for a few turns, play Grasp on turn 6. Like you do that very consistently. Stupid monster thing. They have like this like weird lid thing to them, and I can never remember how it fucking works because I'm incompetent. Is this the GPS list? Yeah, it's the one from the weekend that did really, really well. I think the deck is very consistent relative to other Reanimator decks that I've played. Like, yes, the Hyrule moments are like they do. It does have Hyrule moments that are particularly absurd, but just didn't see it. Have you played it or watched it yet? Because if you haven't, you're in for a treat. Assuming that I don't just, shit my pants here. Which I'm prone to do when I promise great things. Looks like I'm against Winchest. It's pretty tempting. Okay, so if you haven't played this deck, seen this deck, then you should be in for a treat. Okay, so not Winchest. Let's start here. Chairman's Contract in this deck is amazing. It is definitely the best one that I've seen so far. Now, one of the things also is that by having so many copies of the Delinquent, you have access to Sabotage very consistently, and that's very good because it means that you can do things like this. Herald Song, Sabotage, and okay, so they just have the Inquisitor's Blade, and they have an Aggro Raft. I think that I have to take the Inquisitor's Blade, otherwise I'm going to die very quickly to this card. I was worried about Gavel. One of the downsides to this particular build of the deck is that you basically need to grasp in order to win the game. More so than most of the Reanimator decks that you might be familiar with. I think I'm going to let's go Song. Grasp, yeah. The problem here is that my Void is not particularly stacked quite yet. I would like to get more stuff in there if I can. My opponent's deck looks really mid-rangey, which I'm fine with. What do we got? just want to see who's watching. Was it just Reckoner? I didn't even notice who was watching anymore. Spirit Guide. That fucking resolves. Okay, so we have 2 Varas. Let's go on the bottom. I'm going to wait on this. I actually should have jumped with the Delinquent for the purposes of being able to bring back the Delinquent and then sabotaging them. Vara. Into Sportfolk. Yeah, we're actually going to do that. Exactly as you spelled it out. Now, if they get both another removal spell, like a Vanquish, plus the Abergraft, I'm kind of in a lot of trouble. But I just need to find another, like, one more shadow unit, and then I'm doing really, really well. Because you have to Abergraft here just to get on one of the Varas, right? Every now and then I think about what would happen if Cartographer was a shadow card, and I'm just like, man, that'd be messy. Ugh. Really need another shadow card. Okay, well, this doesn't kill me, which is cool. Okay. Okay. Here. Rindra's Choice. I'm gonna do this and try and draw some cards. Just fight. Okay. That is bold. I think I'm still dead, unfortunately, because they don't have any shadow units in their deck, obviously. No, I did not lose any units. They did not block anything. Yeah, I just have to concede, I think, here. That was close, though. That was really close. Yushkov actually, like, carried there. I just needed it, like, a turn earlier. They're playing something very weird. I have no idea what they're on. But that was the best Yoshka game I've ever seen. This is a keep. This is a very, very easy keep. Yushkov blue. Yeah, seems that way. My opponent is choosing not to do very much. Wisdom, sure. Really hope she lives. Feels unlikely, though. But at the same time, they kind of need to get a threat down this turn. Otherwise, they have to hold up display for like the rest of the game. Doesn't really count. This surviving is great. I love when Nocturnal Survivor. When Nocturnal Observer survives, you can usually pull together a win without too much difficulty. Yeah, that's real. I am going to hold back on Vara, though, for the time being. Just because, I mean, I do have other discard outlets. We're talking about Rain of Frogs earlier. Iliac. This is kind of what I mentioned, is that you can silent sabotage that you get it. Yes, Gur. It's really, like, and it sounds stupid, but it's a really important addition. Yeah, they're clearly making an adaptation, but I think that it's surprisingly easy to play around. Like, I know that this is the turn that I want to sabotage them. Yeah, it's hard to say that it splashes Justice, because it doesn't actually really play shadow cards. Exactly. Like, they're really just... Like, they're... Yeah, you got it, friend. They're cards to discard to other things. You know, like, they're cards to mark it away, they're cards to do that. The fact that they're just, like, a free source of card is really neat. And one of the, like, the secrets to making this deck so good. Should have attacked first. Yeah, this deck does a very good job of abusing cardness. Oh baby, Lumber and Gruon. I don't want to block here for the purposes of being able to attack with these when I have my 1 million Azindals in play. Right on time. Yeah, okay, they just concede. Yeah, so the thing with the decks is at various points is that it's gone through the iterations of being closer to a combo deck, like full on combo deck with very little control elements, to one that is more like a controlling deck that happens to play Vara as like a top end, and then like occasionally kind of randomly wins with the grasp maybe. But this was, yeah. I mean, I wish I got to see the whole turn play out there, but they just decided that they didn't want to play anymore. I don't know what they thought was going to be happening on turn 8. Like, I'd very likely have a Vara, but I don't know. I guess you may as well force me to show it. This is not good enough. This is fine. It's not good. I'm not happy about this. I mean, it was close. Don't get me wrong. This is... Really just want gas. Like, I love Sabotage, don't get me wrong. Sabotage is really good in this matchup. And I guess that it was Genève, but... Yeah, their Genève bottom is a good way to put it. I think I suffocate this. Actually, it's like not a particularly hard decision. Yeah, exactly. I'm very, very interested in cutting this banner, because I just don't think that you need it very often in this deck, because this happens a lot. You just gotta go churn through your deck so often, it's easy just to accumulate a bunch of power on hand. Well, hopefully these Black Sky Harbingers do something interesting. One of the things that sucks is that my Void isn't even that scary. And sometimes they'll play scared anyway, just because they know that my deck is good, kind of, but it's still annoying that I don't have a threat of, like, doing something insane-o. I think I'm just gonna kind of do it hard mode. Yep. Yeah, the Zindles are turning up at the wrong time. I'm fine making this trade. I don't think that I play into the torch. Or into the Heart of the Vault, rather. Privilege with time sources would be too good, I think. They just called it. They just fucking called it like a savage. Oh, God. What a master. This is going poorly. I think I'm going to do one more turn to this. Yup. That's not it, Chief. Well, I'm dead anyway, so it wasn't really very much of a choice. Yeah, when this deck bottoms out, it's pretty bad. You have no plan B. I mean, you technically do, like, which is like hard casting Vara and stuff like that, but your plan B sucks. How often does the Legacy Vintage Reanimator just crap out? Pretty rarely, because they have a ton of discarded interaction and great cantrips. It's a question of really just like when, not if that makes sense. Like they're very they're going to go off pretty early on in the game, basically every game. There are sometimes it takes a little bit longer, of course, but it's not that common. Yeah, I mean, as I kind of said, though, that's just like not a realistic standard. Later, Gur. Thanks for hanging out. Sure. I just keep what does Reckoner keep watching me when I'm just streaming? I don't get it. Yeah, you're right. I think about that every now and then, but then I forget. Sure. I really want extra cards. See what we get. I'm gonna bottom that. Grasp is in there. It's annoying. I think I'm just gonna go like kind of normal plan. Hopefully draw a like a VAR or something eventually. Because my opponent isn't doing anything. Would not be surprised to see Dizu's office here. Do we see a... Yeah, we did not see a... I should have blocked there. I don't know why I didn't. That was just a pure mistake. Taking their time. I think that they have... They could still have some power in hand. What do you got here? I mean, it's decent. That explains a little bit. The reason I'm scoffing at the merchant that's on the top is because I would much rather have access to a Vara. I think I should still trade here, just keep my life total high, because I just, like, I win the long game, since I have so many cards that just kind of ice the game. I'm doing this so that I can... Merchant plus... Oh, okay, what am I getting here? What am I getting hit by here? Vanquisher's Blade. Interesting. Yeah. Part of the reason I'm doing this here is in case they got hit by a hate card, basically. Like, for instance, I could have done this for Tomb and then hit my Tomb in hand. Could have done it for Gavel, and then I would have access to the Burglarize, etc. Wow, they just have mono power, I guess. Let's strategize. Well, don't think that a Zindel number 3 is going to be a requirement. Yeah, 2 Zindels and Void. Please don't gavel me. It'd be so annoying if you gaveled me here. Okay, no gavel. So they're playing chains. It's hilarious. I should have discarded this so that I could sabotage. Yeah, I should have. Oh, hey. we did it, boys. Oh, sure. They harsh roll me, which is annoying, but I still, like, am obviously light years ahead. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just playing through the rest of my hand first. Like, they know I have a show. And they have to kill it here. Thank you for the game. That was a lot of fun. Because I killed you very badly. Always a pleasure. Grabbing my phone in case my wife has messaged me. Very pleasant face I made there. Very attractive. So I get all the ladies sitting back like that. Just going off in the chat there for a moment. Yeah, this hand doesn't have a lot of gas. I don't think that I need it. I like having access to two grasps against this deck because they obviously play some amount of counter magic. Yeah, there are two variations. One of them is like Turbo Reanimator, which is much more all-in, more inconsistent, but more likely to like go off on turn one. And then there's the blue-green, the black-blue version of the deck, which is you basically kind of always goes off on turn like 3-ish. Yeah, I mean, there's other like dredge, etc. Like, I mean, the legacy and vintage are filled with bullshit decks that do bullshit things. I mean, playing on anything like X Mage or whatever is just fucking miserable, so don't blame you. Should have attacked there, it doesn't really matter. Whatever. I'm not sure what's going on here. The goods. That's what I fucking like to see. Once again. By the way, this was the exact same games, like person we were fighting against before who did the exact same thing. My void is absolutely stacked. How am I resolving grasp though? I'm gonna do two of them. I mean, at the same time, like they have me under no pressure. Oh, hey. Whoops, exactly. Like, yeah, you can usually battle through one. Doesn't matter. Like, you have to know the matchup too. Like, you see me playing the matchup where it's like I know they have the Rain of Frogs, so I kind of have to. I play in a way to try to play around the Rain of Frogs, and then so that I limit it on the time that I have these cards in my hand, or at least like representing that I have these cards in my hand, and then also calling when they have the counter spells or whatever, and deciding when to play it into them. Because the thing is that keeping up 3 power all game long is a huge cost. You saw that in that game. They just weren't able to develop any real threats against me until I decided that it's like, okay, I can go, this turn grasp you, next turn merchant, then grasp you, and you have to have your back-to-back counter spells there. And even if they did have another one there, like the game isn't over yet because I can just draw another grasp or a Vara. And then the game ends. So yeah, the matchup is not great for them. And I don't think there's very much they can do to improve it because their clock is just so slow. They would have to go in a more direction of like Elysian style Maul decks splashing fire, which I think are bad. I think it probably makes your matchup better there, but it's still not a good solution. This is pretty good. It's fine. But this is a lot worse than it looks. I'm tempted to try and like throw them off my Zen somehow, but I don't think it's going to be very effective. Strategize, eh? Could be against Sunnyvale, Genève, or I could be against... Oh my god. Varas for days. Kennedans, I don't know how that matchup's going to be. So that would be a very weird matchup, so I kind of hope that it's Kennedans. Lame. Yeah, this not the matchup that I was hoping for, because this one is just too easy. Sure. Yeah, that would be fun. I have no idea why they're playing this card in this deck. It just seems horrible. Sequencing here is wrong. Sure. I think I played that matchup before too, and it's fun. Hold on there. What? Huh? I think I saw somebody playing against this deck before. It has potential to kind of go off. It's really weird, though. Think it's gonna mirror image it now. No, they're gonna mirror image it or something. Yep. Okay. Okay, no mirror image is good because I would have died horribly there with a couple of mirror images. Uh-huh. Hmm. Heart of the Ball kills me, and I can't really do very much about that. Or Island. Island kills me too. Should have played around the Island. Wow, that deck was weird. Oh, from the cargo. Yeah, I suppose. God, that was weird though. Trying to think if there's anything that I could have done there that was like much different. I mean, definitely not playing around Island. Because I feel like I wanted the sabotage because it just does. It should be able to remedy like a good deal of problems that I'm expecting to have. I don't know. It was just very hard to call what was in my opponent's hand. It was a weird deck. This hand is not functional. I think I had to keep this. Yeah, this is fine. Discard the privilege of rank. Could discard the Azindul, and my hand is like perfectly fine. Looks like Ingenuity here is playing an aggro deck, given the fact that he started with Banner. Desecrator, sure. It's okay. Could be better. Both of these are pretty good here. Let's go choice. My plan here is to discard privilege of rank. Like, assuming I don't draw power next turn, I can still go discard privilege of rank, play out the Justice Sigil, and then discard the Azindel. I don't really care about the buffs, obviously. That hurts me. Taking 10 here, assuming there's no pump spells. Like, if he has Rally here, I'm boned, but he doesn't. At the very least, it'll be a couple turns probably before they draw that. I don't anticipate that this is going to be good enough. Like Permafrost here, or Chunk Chunk. Number 2 here. Snowball. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Permafrost. Permafrost. Yeah, in that case, I'm just dead. Rough. Rough, rough. Yeah, definitely people are adjusting to Reanimator being in the meta. You're seeing a lot more aggro decks, I think, since it kind of showed up over the weekend. I guess I'm not seeing quite as much Reanimator as I was last night. People were really hot on it last night because, I mean, it's a shiny, fun new deck. But whatever. Still doing fine. Like, going up and down, like, jumping between 50 and 70 is obviously not bad. I shouldn't be complaining. This hand is pretty good. I definitely need I want Vara pretty badly. But that goes with basically everything. I don't think I need this. Mirror match? Hey, that was a rip. That's good shit. Now I just need a grasp. Especially since I'm on the play. Yeah, easy discard there. Oh, I should have just discarded these, and I don't know what I'm doing for them. I want that in the void. Oh, hey! Brussifam. 21 Raiders incoming. Defend yourselves. We are reanimating. I didn't discard this because I'm very smart. So, yeah, I'm thinking about what to do here. I'm going to force them to have the sabotage. If they don't have it, then they just die, probably. Yeah, they have it. Dang. Not a huge shock. So next turn now I can play out my Delinquent discard Azindal and hopefully hit a Grasp from them. I guess they don't have a great Void quite yet, so maybe I just will hold it for a bit. Put this at the bottom. Come on about him. Thinking very carefully about their plays, which is allowed. I just sometimes get impatient. Let's just go for this. Because this needs to be discarded anyway. It's always good, no drops. There should be drops here. You mean like no special campaign? I'm actually saving those for now because everybody else is doing like these big campaigns right now. So I'm gonna jam some of them a little bit later on once the hype has died down. Because like you kind of get oversaturated with them, as I understand it. I know that you're just sharpening me though. Sure. Sure. Kind of want to get up to Vara mana. Okay, so they finally have a reasonable Void. Still the second Vara, so I should find one pretty soon. There's 35 cards left. Let's card this. Grasp. Yep, it's fine. You got me. Please don't merchant me. That would make me very upset. Because, since you don't have the Vara, it's kind of like fine. Just discarded that. Ouch. Discard. I've been talking about the suffocate. Discarded to suffocate. Obviously, it's really nice to be able to suffocate these ladies. Give me power plus Vara. Or, obviously, grasp. Grasps. Gas. Okay, that's terrifying. This lets me know if I have grasp on top, which I do not. This is kind of frustrating. Could really use, I don't know, good cards. Now, good thing is that even if they do grasp here, they can't actually connect with anything. And even now, like when they bring this back, they bring back the Azindal. And they can even bring back the Merchant. But I get to just play this Black Sky Harbinger, and that clears up everything. Like all of these guys, like the unblockable ones and the deadly ones, etc. So I'm still in fine condition. And technically this can get him a Resonance choice, plus a power will clear this out and let them draw one. But like, that's not an emergency. Ranger's choice, yeah. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Play the 2-1. Play the Cartographer right now. Just go. Do it. Do it. I know you want to. Do it. Play my 0-cost Cartographer. Yeah, I think that you're right there, Twiddles. It's just like obviously a particularly unlikely line to come up. I swear to God, if they Vara me right here with my Vara, I'm going to be tilted. Come on, Fibso. I mean, I know that this is not the easiest deck to play, but we really can do this. Like, we can do a little bit faster than this. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Again, I guess it's just a power or something, right? My stream and Lights Out streams don't work well for you, and you don't know what's wrong with how my stream works for you. Sabotage me, yep. Thank God. Okay. Choose the right thing, Neon. You can do it. Oh, hell yeah. Don't think I need all 3 Azindals. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's just bit win more. No valid cards. Check with these guys. Draw 4. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice you. How many cards do I have left? 23? Yeah, I can bring them back. You. That's fine. This one, Render's Choice. Yeah. Let's kill this one. Maximize the number of unblockable units. Oh my god. This poor soul. How many cards do they have left? 34. Is this good, and if so, why? Help me, please. Hit this. Let's go with this. Going for that. Yeah. It's very nice of me. I know. It's exactly where they want him. I mean, I could do more stuff. I just don't know what I want to do. I'm just like losing track of what's even happening in the game because it's so nonsense. A privilege of rank, yes, resolves. Careful not to kill them. How's this going, guys? You enjoying this? Is this fair and balanced? I'm actually going to be milling them out. That's the plan. I'm just choosing stuff at random at this point. As long as I just don't deal any damage to them. Gotta get that Sabo. What do I discard, guys? Hard to tell. Can't figure it out. It's a hard decision. Merchant. Oh shit. We're gonna go off. Guys. Guys are doing it. All the remaining units. Oh, the spore folk. Well, thank God they're not going to die now. I actually got solituded today. Like, out of... I can't remember who was playing it. It was Magikarp, I think, and a couple boys who were playing a Solitude deck. I don't know how Strategize works in that situation, but I have, like, all of his copies of Strategize, right? Like, I had, like, 3 in my hand. That was a decent one. That was a good one. This deck, man, it's such a fucking blast. But yeah, the artifact doesn't have a unit cab. It does make part of the UI kind of annoying, though. I think that the lanes are a little bit smaller than they kind of need to be in order to manage them correctly, and it's very annoying to manage them on a touchpad too. So, I mean, it's fine, but it's definitely kind of annoying. And it comes up too. Like, it comes up in some games that you're playing a lot of units in Artifact when you're on, like, some of the combo decks, for example. I'm not crazy about this one. This is actually borderline. I think that unit caps, it low key, it's a very good decision to use. Sorry, Ilya, I didn't follow what your question was exactly. Oh, this deck versus other versions of it. I mean, I never played Legacy or a Vintage Reanimator. I mean, look, the Unicap does weird things to the game, don't get me wrong. Really hope she survives. Feels unlikely. I mean, sure, if you're just going to let me have everything. Now, main deck Rain of Frogs here gets me like you would not believe. That is a very strange timing on Equivocate. I have a hard time believing that that was the correct timing on Equivocate. Of all the different possibilities of waiting to next turn or doing it at the start of my turn, that was the timing that you chose for Equivocate? Okay, anything interesting? Meh. So, well, I mean, I don't have any Blaska Harbingers, but I do have a couple of the Zindals, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna be batting. I'm gonna going batty on some people next couple turns. Question. Do I think I have to just jam now on the grounds that they could have Rain of Frogs. Now they can have a 2-mana counterspell here, but I think that I'm going to have to just deal with that. Yeah. Because 2 is a lot easier to hold up. I kept that merchant on top. That was probably a mistake. I kind of have this like default thing that's like, merchants are good cards. You should keep them. But it's just not the case in this deck. I've seen I've sabotaged 2 Rain of Frogs. It was against the same opponent, but I've been sabotaging some Rains of Frogs. Some Frogs have been coming to try and get some rain down. If you know what I'm saying. Oh no, I did bottom it. I'm a genius. Anemic beatdowns. Ooh yeah. Taste that 6 damage, buddy. This is good, I cannot tell. That equivocate that target like usage was just great. mean, frogs now would be super annoying, but it doesn't... Like, I think that they're just holding up the... Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely Hardcasmara game points at territory. Clear out. Do we just keep them... around? I don't think that I do. Honestly, I think I just get rid of all of my blockers. Let's just do it this way. Like, try to get him to use a removal spell on one of these. He doesn't. They don't. I do not know that Beowulf is a male. Yeah, I like that plan. It's Angularity. That sounds good. Okay. Let's jam. Oh, frogs would have been terrible there. Oh my god, it would be so bad. That wing brewer was great. Still can't believe it. They timed their equivocate then. So weird. Imagine how good Wing Brewer would be in this deck if it was actually not a shitty card. Like, if it had, let's say 2 health, or, didn't cost infinite mana to activate. It'd be awesome. That is to say, if it wasn't bad, then maybe it would be good. Let's see if this is the last game of the night. This is definitely a keep. Very easy keep. Obviously, I'm hoping for him to, our Sportfolk friends, to deliver some gasoline to us, but this is a very good start to a hand. Infantry. I'm not excited about this matchup, but it's doable. Okay, we got something there. Yeah, Zindel. Sure, that resolves. They don't appreciate the joke. Well, my opponent is on a clock. Feels like Warhelm is a bigger problem. I'm just going to run this back. Yep, Zabo this too. Just Zabo, Zabo, Zabo. That was too easy. That one was too easy. Ugh. One more. These delinquents, the delinquents are really, really good in this style of deck. I mean, I think that people already had figured that out like pretty quickly as soon as Vora got a nerf. But like, damn, they've just been putting in so much work, and especially when you know how to time them and what to be going to like using it, etc. Like, oh my god. Our looting is trash. Our looting is totally fine. Like, you can't compare shit to Legacy. Legacy is just not a good comparison because it's a fucked up format. Like, Force of Will exists in that format. This hand is very, like, mediocre, but it's got, like, some of the pieces that I really want. So that's kind of why I'm tanking. That's what I fucking wanted. Yes, I remember that. Those are these opponents. They just concede. They don't want to play with me. Let's see if we can sneak into the, like, properly into the top 50, not just on the line. Gets right stuck in there, BTW. Actually, I just want to have a quick question. Oh god, are we canceling? Are we actually canceling? Oh, come on, thing. Okay, we actually canceled. Okay, so for this ranked thing, it says it was ranked 50 up in the top left. I know that you can't see my cursor, so I'm just going to tell you where it is. It's underneath where it says ranked, and it has my ranking there next to the little master sign thing. There's a little bronze hat there. Is that on other people's as well? Because this was implemented when the community store was launched. I'm guessing that that's related to the influence store. That's my streamer level. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh man, last few runs have been good. It's been a pretty good day. Had some rough runs, but moments. But it's been good overall. Yeah. That's what I thought. It was just like never 3 Void Haze cards in the market. I mean, like I've definitely still been playing 2. Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of people are playing 2. But yeah, I'm only bronze still. Still have a long way to go. This climbs very slowly. I am sincere that I'm going to run some campaigns later on. I wanted to accumulate a little bit more of the influence to actually spend because I just don't have a lot, and because I obviously only started streaming recently. And then I also want to start using those once people have kind of like spent a bunch of their influence already. Because, like, for instance, right now we have, I think there was at least one gold campaign taking place earlier in the night. Yeah, gold run is going on right now, for example. And there's another bronze run that's going on right now. So, I kind of want to make it worth people's while. Run it back. Yeah, let's go with this. I think that Winchester really depends on the build of the deck. You definitely need to build it properly, though. You have to build it respecting this deck, respecting Reanimator, because you're like Gavel is a pain in the ass. I've always hated Gavel as a hate card, but like this is a matchup where you want it. Gonna chill. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever like felt like, oh yeah, this is actively good now. Yeah, I think that you want flying aggro against this stick. We can probably pitch 1 Suffocate. This takes me back. That's a trip down memory lane there, friends. What? Yeah, that's the correct response. That is accurate. Now you can torch it in response in order to get an extra power, which he does, which is fine by me. Yeah, no, I this is... How are we doing here? We have... You know, let's just draw 2. Or draw 1, I guess. So they should still not have any spells in their hand.
My opponent is playing quite the combination of cards. It's unfortunate that this didn't get transformed before I stole it from my opponent. What is going on? No fucking clue. No idea. I can say nothing other than I am confused myself. That resolves. Let you know this person is ranked 67. Playing this particular... It should not transform for me, because I don't have the correct influence. I mean, I'd be happy for it to do that, but it's not going to. Block, block. You take 6. When I get their influence, obviously. Yeah. We're like most of the way there. That's the goal. See if we can get to transform this. I transform these next turn, guys. Next turn, we're doing it. Just harsh roll me just so that I have a chance. Please? Harsh roll me? Hojon. Basically the same thing. Hojon. Basically the same thing. Nice play. I really hope he lets me go off. Yes. Cargo's fucking going off with my contraband. He's had enough. He's had enough. Oh, that was satisfying. That was weirdly satisfying. Good game, good game. I have no idea what my opponent's deck is supposed to do. Answer the call, man. Guys, let's answer the call. Answer the call. Yeah, like, we, like, climbed decently here. I mean, we did jump around a little bit, but we started the stream at around, like, 60s or 70s, and now we're at 45, which is good.